The Galaxy S26 Ultra is shaping up to be one of Samsung's most talked about flagship phones. We've already heard about its thinner design, brighter display, faster charging, and even a new camera setup. But behind all of these upgrades, one big question remains: should this phone really cost more than the $1,299 price tag of the Galaxy S25 Ultra? Honestly, the answer feels like a solid no. And let me explain why. Smartphones today have reached a point where the improvements we see each year are getting smaller. We're no longer witnessing massive leaps in performance, design, or features like we did in the past. Instead, we get a slightly faster processor, a display that's a little brighter, and cameras that are just a bit better. It's what many people call a plateau. Now, yes, Samsung is marketing the S26 Ultra as an upgrade, and there are indeed some improvements. But are these changes worth charging customers even more money? Not really. One of the biggest reasons behind a possible price increase has nothing to do with the phone itself. It's about chip production costs. Reports say that TSMC, the company that makes chips for brands like Qualcomm and MediaTek, has increased the cost of its advanced 3nm wafers. MediaTek is paying about 24% more, and Qualcomm around 16% more. These higher costs usually get passed on to customers, which is why phones like the Galaxy S26 or even Apple's future iPhones could get more expensive. But Samsung might take a different approach. Instead of using Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, rumors suggest the Galaxy S26 Ultra could feature Samsung's own Exynos 2600 chip. Now, this is interesting. Exynos chips have a mixed history. In the past, they often lagged behind Snapdragon when it came to performance and efficiency. Many users also complained about heating issues. In fact, a lot of people actively avoided Exynos models, choosing Snapdragon versions instead. So the idea of Samsung going back to its in-house chip has raised plenty of eyebrows. On paper, though, the Exynos 2600 looks pretty strong. It's rumored to be built on Samsung's 10nm GAA process, making it the first smartphone chip at that size more advanced than the 3nm chips competitors are using. Reports suggest it could feature a 10-core CPU and an Eclipse 960 GPU that might beat Qualcomm's Adreno 830 by about 15%. Better heat management is also expected, which could fix one of the biggest complaints with older Exynos chips. So yes, the chip sounds promising, but here's the issue: trust. Many consumers still see Exynos as a downgrade compared to Snapdragon, and changing that reputation will take time and real-world proof. And this is exactly why Samsung shouldn't be charging more. If the S26 Ultra does use Exynos, then production costs are likely lower compared to Snapdragon models. Charging extra while introducing a chipset that many still consider inferior would simply frustrate loyal buyers. Let's move on to the other upgrades. Charging speed could rise from 45 West to 60 West. It's a decent bump, but far from industry-leading. OnePlus and other brands already offer 100 West or more, charging phones in just 30 minutes. Samsung's 60 West upgrade may cut charging time to under an hour for its 5000 mAh battery, but that's hardly groundbreaking. Wireless charging may still stay at 15W, which feels outdated for a premium phone at this price. The display is expected to be a 6.89-inch OLED panel using Samsung's new M14 material. This should give brighter visuals, lower power consumption, and a longer lifespan. Rumors also point to Flex Magic Pixel technology for better viewing angles and privacy, as well as code technology for sharper colors and thinner screens. These are nice upgrades, but again, nothing revolutionary. On the camera side, the S26 Ultra could bring a new 200MP main sensor for better low-light shots and natural bokeh. The ultra-wide and telephoto cameras may remain similar to the S25 Ultra, though a 50MP for X-zoom with a faster lens might be added. Cameras will definitely stay one of Samsung's strengths, but the S25 Ultra already had one of the best setups. As for design, the phone might keep its flat sides and rounded corners, while becoming about 0.4mm slimmer. That change is so small most people won't even notice. Personally, Samsung could have used that extra space to increase the battery by 700 or 800 mAh instead of focusing on making the phone thinner. So, when we put it all together, what do we really have? A phone with a brighter display, somewhat faster charging, a slimmer body, and a new 200MP main camera. Add in the controversial Exynos 2600 chipset, and you'll see why many people believe Samsung has no business raising the $1,299 price tag. At the end of the day, $1,300 is already a huge amount of money. For that price, buyers expect meaningful improvements, not small upgrades marketed as game-changing. If Samsung decides to charge even more, their advertising will likely use words like premium and next level. But will customers actually be impressed? Probably not. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will still be a powerful and sleek device packed with great features. But unless Samsung keeps the price the same or even lowers if Exynos is used, many people will start questioning whether the Ultra is still worthy of its name.